Hello and happy Sunday, everybody. Heather Coleman here. I am an intuitive medium, meaning I can connect and clearly communicate with deceased loved ones, angels, and spirit guides. I'm also able to see auras, and I'm also able to take a peek at life charts, and I do a little bit with astrology. So it's just a little bit about what I do. I also work with Reiki and energy work as well. And every week we have these videos. I do these live on Facebook. They're also uploaded to YouTube. And what that means is that whenever you see this video, it is meant to find you exactly when and how it does. And I always encourage you, if a video, for that matter, whether it's mine or someone else's, if it really strikes a chord, consider bookmarking it and go back to it in a week, go back to it in a month, because these videos, and this is not just true for me, by the way, it's other psychics. I follow a lot of psychics out there. Yes, the messages are specific to this week. We're looking at April 13th to 19th, but there are so many layers to the timing and the way these messages are delivered. And it's so interesting, and it's so complex and yet so simple. The way that Spirit knows exactly what it is that you're feeling right now, exactly what you're experiencing, and the bigger why. And I think we are going to notice as these messages unfold that we're going to get a lot of answers to the why. So many of us, if we're going through something hard, or let's say our life just is hard in general, we've been through some horrible things, we're always asking why. I know I still do to this day. Now, you might notice the difference between you and other people. When you ask why, you actually do want answers because you are fully invested in solutions and to bettering yourself and what is around you. You'll notice, though, that there are many people that are asking why, but they're not really looking for an answer, at least not one that they're willing to take. These people are just emoting. Often you'll see that happening because these people their inner child is unhealed. And many of you have had to say goodbye to people because of that. They haven't healed their childhood trauma. And you'll start noticing, and I know this is going to resonate with a lot of you that are going to find this video, this collective. The difference between you and these other people is that you've been through at least as difficult as they have, if not worse, and you're doing the inner work. You're not stuck in that cycle of that dysfunction, that trauma, right? You're working on your inner child. So give yourself credit. And the thing is, when you ascend, when you focus on self-development as you're doing, the walk can be lonely sometimes for quite some time, because as you break the patterns, you have to let go of people that are still part of that pattern, right? So give yourself credit. And it can be very difficult because humans are not solitary creatures by nature. Maybe some people are, and we think they are. Yeah, they probably went through something awful. That's probably why they're like that, honestly, or more than one awful thing. Humans are not by nature supposed to live by themselves. Humans are social creatures. We need other people. We are interdependent. So today, what is so interesting is I feel like it's a very detailed, rich reading today, because I've selected some of the cards already. We've got which I think we need with the weight of some of the topics. We've got the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa DeCourt happening today. I'm also going to be giving you messages from the first deck I ever got, Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. And I'm glad we have this deck, because this deck especially is great for people that want to manifest something very different from what they've had already, or even what your life is currently like. Great deck. And then we also have another deck. This one, I literally use this deck almost every day. We have Angel Answers here by Radleigh Valentine. And what is so funny, though, funny and not funny, I'm going to first read for you from a fortune cookie. So last night, my son and I got Chinese food, and we do things together, but we don't always eat together because both of us like to watch a lot of content-rich stuff. Sometimes we both like to eat and watch our YouTube, and then sometimes we compare notes on what we watch on YouTube. And so what was kind of cool is we were not eating in the same room, but my son, which was very sweet, he's like, "Do you want a fortune cookie?" I said, "No, thanks, but thanks for asking." Somehow, I found a fortune, and this is so true. Just last night, we have a jar of dry cat food that we scoop up and we fill their dish because we have 3 cats. I found the Fortune in there. And I think Spirit somehow had a hand in making this happen. I'll have to ask my son when I see him later if he left that for me or if it was just, but this was almost like an oracle card or a tarot card that I found this, because when I read this, I laughed. I was like, that was totally the same feeling as when I draw a card or I go on YouTube and someone's drawn a card. I'm like, my God, that's totally for me. And I feel this is also for you. So the Fortune from this fortune cookie says, the road to success is always under construction, right? So I was like, oh my God, that is so spot on right now. The road to success is always under construction. So what does that mean? It means that we are being called to continuously check in with yourself on your definition of success. What does success mean to you? Because if your road is always, if you feel as if you're always encountering roadblocks and detours, that's because your path is designed to challenge you and all of the ways best for you, your life chart, your life path. So let's ask ourselves this week, this month, whenever you're seeing this video, why is my road to success? Why does it seem like it's always under construction? Another thing, and some of you probably know this if you get Chinese food a lot, but they usually give you numbers on the backs of these. So I'm just going to read you the numbers. And I'm thrilled to see a couple fours on here because that's like my angel number that I'm always watching for. But so for me, that hit home right away. We've got 41, we've got 11, we've got 55, 17, 39, and 34. And I'm going to read on a couple of these for all of you, particularly the double, the angel numbers, the 11 and the 55, and in the order that they're in, because you've got the 11, and I know it's probably hard to see, but just maybe you can see it. You maybe not, I don't know, but here it is just in case. You've got the 11 right next to the 55. And so let's talk about the 55 first. 5 is the number of change. It can be the number of conflict, but I've been seeing quite a bit in tarot readings, both when I draw cards and when I follow others who are really excellent at this. I've been seeing a lot of the reversed 5 of Pentacles. Wow. The reversed 5 of Wands, the reversed 5 of Swords. Thank you, Lord. And I'm going to tell you why, because at least in the ways that I read tarot, those cards upright are usually the card of, oh crap, the road is really under construction. Like the 5 of Pentacles usually is some kind of a financial loss, like a loss in income, maybe some big expense coming up that you're not super cushioned for. A loss of a job. So when that card is reversed, we are happy because that means that it's an ending to the hard financial times. It means you're moving in the right direction. Maybe you're paying off debt. That's what the 5 of Pentacles reversed means. The 5 of Wands reversed, for most of us at least, generally speaking, is going to mean that you're going to start seeing a lot less conflict with the people around you, a lot less maybe of the emotional heated yelling if you've been in environments like that. Maybe more of an ability with the people around you and you to discuss differences. And I know that's definitely been happening for me. I've been seeing the 5 of Wands reversed a lot. And literally, I was mentioning my son a few minutes ago. He and I have been doing a lot better with just talking through things. And so also the 5 of Swords reversed is going to piggyback on that. Often the 5 of Swords, if it's upright, means no one being able to win, people just not maybe being willing to try to compromise. But when you have the 5 of Swords reversed, it means one of two things generally. Either means that you don't have those sorts of people around you anymore, those no-win kind of rigid people. Could also mean that others and yourself, maybe both, you're dropping that kind of thinking. You're saying, all right, as much as I am confident in my view, I'm also going to try to understand yours. Let's see where we can find some common ground. So those are really good energies. And that's why I wanted to read for you on this double 5. Also, the double 1 here is a card of positive beginnings. I've been seeing a lot of aces. Now, there actually are not any aces in my reading, which is why I'm giving you this reading first. So I didn't have to draw like 6 or 8 other tarot cards to give you this reading. The aces, like let's say you've got the Ace of Swords. I've been seeing that card come up a lot. It is you making a firm mental decision on the direction that you're moving. Now, I'm going to also say that that's been coming a lot with the 7 of Cups, water or chalices, both upright and reversed. if you're feeling spoiled for choice right now, like I have a lot of options and lots being thrown at me, and we're seeing that with the Eight of Fire a lot lately, right? Again, I didn't have to draw all those cards to give you this message. What that means is it's okay if you're not entirely sure of exactly what you're doing, where you're going. It's a good time to write down your ideas, your life goals, your visions, what you hope to manifest in your life over the next 5 years, 10 years, maybe even 15 to 20 years. It's also a season with this fire horse energy that we're in. We're in the year of the fire horse. Because things are being thrown at us so quickly and we're jumping on that wave, we're mounting the horse, we're running with it. We often don't realize how much clarity we have while we still think we have confusion, because it's all happening so quickly and we're running with it. So again, this message Spirit is giving us about just writing, like have your visual planners, your calendar, maybe your list of tasks that you want to accomplish. And one of the reasons that it's really good to sit down and do that is so that you can prioritize. Prioritization this year is, and I feel this week especially, is really important, because otherwise we can get ourselves overwhelmed running around like a chicken with its head cut off. And what we want to cultivate during fast-moving, busy times is an inner sense of groundedness, stability, and peace and calm. That's what we want to cultivate inside, because when we have that inside, we are much better able to respond to what's happening on the outside and to work with it and to move more quickly. That whole concept of slowing down to speed up. So let's get into the actual cards that I drew, now that we've had a whole bunch of messages come through that didn't require cards. The first card we're going to look at, and this is so interesting, is the Moon reversed. It's a major arcana. I just feel like there's such a playful energy with this deck. Now, you may see something different, but when I look at these look like candy canes hanging upside down from the ceiling. So again, just in general, we've got this message of being playful. Take a playful approach to life and tell yourself to lighten up mentally and emotionally. And when I draw this card upright, what it generally means is that we are going to see certain turns of events coming that we just cannot foresee. So when we're trying to plan, and I just gave you this message about writing down our goals and our intentions, keep in mind that we do need to unattach from, or detach is a good word, from timing and results, because we often just can't see what's going to unfold. Certain events that we don't see coming, changes in employment or offerings, changes in technology. Here's a great example. A couple weeks ago, just kind of popped up, my stepdad ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks with some pretty serious health issues. And he's home now, which is great news. But that kind of, for my whole family, not just me, kind of made our lives crazy for a few weeks. Sometimes you just can't see these things coming, right? And that's what the Moon card is about. And I'm not saying that this means bad medical news for any of you, but it's just a good example of something that even as a psychic, you might not see coming. Something might just come up that requires your immediate attention and action. And so that's where the more you make time to get your rest, your meditation, and your going inward, the more important that is, so that you can stay grounded throughout everything that's going on. Next card I'm going to read for you from Tarot is the Prince of Wands, which it's interesting because we talked about the aces. This has some similar energy to the ace in any suit, where you've got someone kind of riding. We also had this message about riding a horse. This is, a lion, which makes sense in this suit of energy. Someone that is taking the reins in their own life and creating a beginning. And it's not like you don't feel fear, but you're able to work through it. I mean, because it's scary. Lions are some of the animals that if they're not happy with you, they're going to let you know it. So to try to work with a lion is a lot scarier than working with another kind of animal. You've got fire all around here. So it's a card of courage. It's a card of taking the steps in spite of any fear that you might be experiencing. So I feel like that's what all of you are doing. And this is your confirmation to keep doing that, to keep taking steps forward. You're going to have self-doubts. It's completely fine and normal to say, am I doing the right thing? Your dreams at night are going to tell you a lot. Spirit encourages you to have some way of recording your dreams. I have a dream journal. I have many of them now because I've been journaling my dreams for 33 years. Ooh, that's an angel number. Literally, I was 13 years old when I went to a workshop with my father where we were encouraged to start recording our dreams in a notebook. So that's how long I've been writing most of my dreams down. I miss a few here and there, but I try to get them all written down. So I have so many notebooks now. And the reason Spirit encourages us to do this, the reasons are myriad. One thing that happens for me, it's usually after quite a lot of time, like years. I will once in a while go back and I will read through my dreams and say, oh my gosh, that totally predicted something that was going to happen. Sometimes I don't even make the connection because it takes a while to unfold. But even more than that, arguably, is if you sit with your dream and you just give yourself the time to let it percolate, it's going to give you a lot of answers to questions you may have. And it's going to give you a lot of insight into whatever you might be grappling with. So moving on to our next tarot card, we have Judgment. And this is so interesting. This card has been coming a lot, both when I draw tarot and a lot of the creators that I follow. I feel like it doesn't really matter whether we're talking upright or reversed. The message with this is trust your own judgment and just know that Earth is not a planet where you see justice in the way that you should. Sometimes you do. But if you really think about what goes on in the world, it's considered a hell planet. It's considered a hell planet. That's why it is more important than ever for all of us to get in touch with your deep knowing, your inner sense of right and wrong, because I'm telling you right now, this world will drive you nuts if you let it. Don't fucking let it. Don't let it. We are all born with a deep knowing of who we are and a connection to the spirit realm. We are all born with a sense of right and wrong. You still have it. You just need to start listening to it again, and you need to trust it again. So interesting that we've also got the Justice card. You can't make this stuff up. So that's going to piggyback that sometimes situations happen in, justice happens in the way that it should right away. Sometimes it happens after years. Sometimes it happens over lifetimes. In other words, I think that if you're here, you are someone that has dealt with at least a little bit, maybe a lot of injustice in your life, whether it's for yourself, people around you, and you may be someone that doesn't see justice right away for any of these situations. Spirit is just reminding you that there is a much, much bigger picture to everything, and perfect justice is and will be served, whether that's across many lifetimes, whether that's on another dimension, whether you're getting to like bitch slap someone in 4D after you die. I mean, that's going to be fun if you think about it, guys. I mean, talk about not being afraid to die. If nothing else, when you get over there, you're going to get to chew out people you couldn't chew out while you were here. Doesn't that sound great? I mean, that's one of the first things I'm going to do when I get on the other side. So, moving on to cleaning up the damage from a lot of the crap toxic people. Am I right or am I right? We've got the worthiness. Whoa. So that was significant. I almost dropped this fucking card. God damn it. I want to personally strangle the people that sexually assaulted you. I would really enjoy that. How do you put the pieces of yourself back together when someone has taken what is most sacred to you before you even knew that you had it? Where is the fucking justice? I don't know. I just deliver the messages. So sometimes just knowing what we're missing is the first step to reclaiming it. Worthiness. All right. Affirmations can really help. I deserve to receive good in all ways. God damn it. I deserve to receive good in all ways. I deserve to receive good in all ways. Worthiness. And this piggybacks on what I said about how this world is really good at making some people feel like they are worth nothing. But that's because we live on a fucking hell planet. You got to keep something in mind. Some of the people that look the most nondescript, the most just nothing exciting, or the worst, you don't know what they really are. Well, you might because you're becoming more aware. But some of those individuals, they could be kind of just not much as a spirit, but they could be one of the most heroes in a cape. Things are not always what they appear, and I feel like a lot of you are in this process, and that's what you're reclaiming is your worthiness. Sometimes the best people, the ones who will help someone when they are most struggling themselves, they'll still help someone else. I'm talking about the best people. The ones that will hold their temper when they're under duress. Those are some of the most highly advanced souls, but they'll be treated like complete shit. And they'll be devalued. Well, that shit people might get away with that here. But you want to see what's going to happen on the other side. It's going to be fun to see this karma, I'm telling you. So it's time for you to reclaim your worthiness. And the other thing, though, that I also want to say in terms of the villains, there are two main types, and I'm oversimplifying it, but this is good stuff. There are two main types of villains. And I'm talking about in terms of what these souls are in terms of spirit. There are those that are actually dark, like really disgusting stuff in terms of their actual soul spirit. Like you won't even talk to them on the other side. But there's another type, and that's the Severus Snape. Those of you that have watched Harry Potter, where Severus Snape, you could never tell what was really going on with him. And then toward the later part of the series, and this is a spoiler, he seemed like one of the worst villains, and he turned out to be one of the freaking best because he did what almost no one else could do. And that's what is called a mission life entity. And what I'm talking about, I'm going to give you another example, is someone that I know. I know a person that in a past life was an SS officer at a couple of the concentration camps and was sneaking the Jews out and doing a lot of things to kind of help and to kind of take down the people in power. But on the surface, this looked like someone who was committing evil acts. And so when I'm talking about souls, I'm just giving you a picture. If you could picture two types of souls working alongside in a concentration camp doing horrible things, one of them might actually be a black soul. The other one might be a hero posing as a villain. And so that's why sometimes we're not supposed to know how justice is supposed to be served while we're here, because it can be hard to tell what kind of a soul you're really dealing with who did harm. Also, if you've done harm to someone, if you're here and you're like, oh my God, what if I'm a horrible soul? You're not. And any harm you've done is a lot less than what anyone's done to you. It's still a great idea, though, if you're able to go back and repair and apologize if you feel like you've hurt someone. It's a very good idea to do that. If you can't do that, ask the universe to help you fix the harm of your actions, because they can help you. The last two cards, this is so interesting. They're coming up together. This means that the timing is amazing. Self-employment. So if any of you here are either considering starting something in self-employment, maybe you want to start something, or maybe you want to do the paperwork, make yourself a business, partner with someone, or this applies to both. Maybe you've been self-employed a long time. Maybe you have also, maybe you're like me, you're self-employed and you have a job. I have an amazing job. So if that's you, there might be times that your self-employment is less hours. You're not putting as much focus on it. And then there's times you'll put more focus on it. This would be your message that it's a yes to your self-employment, whether that's starting something, whether that's I'm going to double down my efforts, or hey, now it's time to put more time to build my business up more. And the reason we know that is the Divine Magic card. This is like the cover image on this deck. This is like the foundation of the whole deck. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation. Expect miracles. It means the divine is able to amplify anything you do. And that's overwhelming in a way, because we also have these messages about how you might not be totally sure what you want. That's why the process of going inward and talking to yourself and asking yourself what you want is so important. But you don't have to get it all perfect, all right. But keep taking action. Keep setting those intentions. Keep setting your goals, your visions, because the universe is always supporting you. But right now, it's almost like we'd say you have extra ability to manifest more quickly. So that self-employment, it's go time. Do it. Take the steps, put together the plans, and have confidence and have faith. And keep in mind, too, that it can be a staggering burden to have confidence in yourself all the time. For some people, myself included, that can be a recipe for failure. But think of it this way. Think of it that instead of putting all that pressure on yourself, you're going to work with the divine. and you're going to do some divine work through what you're doing. So you're not doing it alone. And it's not from a point of ego and me and what I want. It's something along the lines of angels and spirit guides. What would you have me do today to best serve others and myself? To do the highest and best things for the betterment of me and everyone around me. Then you're not working from a point of ego and you're not selfish and you're going to achieve bigger things. When you set the intention that you only, and this is what I personally do, I only want success to happen for me in a way that benefits others and the bigger picture and the collective. And I believe both are possible. And that's, by the way, what we have to do in this world to undo the bull crap things, beliefs we've gotten, because other people don't think that way, but we do. And we're better than them. Not really, but not exactly, but we're here to bring light and we're here to show others a better way. But that was a message because other people have made you feel like you're not as good as them. Well, the reality is that you probably are a more advanced soul than some of the lower-minded bullies that made you feel like they were better than you. From a soul level, it might be the other way around. I don't mean better. I mean that you're probably a more advanced soul, right? If you know how to have success and recognition and money without taking from others, isn't that better than what other people do? There you go. I want to draw you guys a timing card. Okay, so this is your chance. So actually, I'm going to do two. This doesn't maybe apply to all of you, but it's going to apply to some of you. So I feel like some of you here today in this collective, there's something that you're either waiting for or you want to know when it's going to work. Fill in the blank. Could be a relationship. These are just some of the examples. You're going to know which question gets your heart. When am I going to finally meet the right person? When am I going to get the right job? When am I going to be able to move to the living situation I want? Something big like that. If you have something like that, I'm going to draw you a timing card. Not bad. A year from now. A year from now. And if you don't have something big on your mind about that, no big deal. Maybe that's the one just isn't. But yeah, a year from now for that big thing that you're wanting, hoping for. Finally, some of you here today, there is a big yes or no question on your mind. So I'm going to draw for you from these yes/no cards. Could be something like, should I change jobs? It's just an example. Should I stay in this relationship? These are just examples, but there could be many things. Draw you a yes or no card. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Might not be forever, but that's why there's no exclamation point, because there's a card like this, but the answer is yes. Other than that, I'm just listening to see if Spirit has any more messages. Final message is just to be open. And just this morning, I feel like it's been harder to stay connected to Spirit and Source because life has been busy. I've been out and about more. I've been around other people. You hear their noise. You don't hear your own as much, right? But that's why this happened for me. This is to remind you that Spirit is always giving you signs. They're always communicating with you. I found a fortune from Fortune Cookie and a little thing of cat food. And I was like, oh, Spirit's around. So just trust that. Trust your intuition. Trust that they're giving you signs, communications all the time. And my website, if you're curious to know more, is heatherlcoleman.com. But other than that, have an outstanding week, and I will see you soon.